Atlantean Mermelds is a deck that I always like to explore every single format, and I feel like in this format specifically, it is much stronger with the new support of the Gishki cards. The Gishki cards are so powerful, but they don't really have a home yet in something like Sprite because the Elf Band really does hurt the Gishki Sprite build, but I feel like this deck is much better and still strong with stuff like the Coral Anemone being a somewhat of a replacement for the Sprite Elf. But here I'm going to be showcasing a few test hands, maybe like one or two test hands of the Gishki Atlantean Mermail Water deck, whatever you want to call this concoction of a deck. So let's just get started. So I'm going to go to my main phase here. I have a couple of options. There's many options, but I think maybe activating the, yeah, let's activate this. You can go for this, the Gishki Focus Aqua Mirror. We could search for, there's a couple of options I can go for. I could search like a Vision, I could search a Shadow. I could also search a Ritual Monster, but I think the Grimness is the best option here. So now we have that. And now we have a couple of plays. We have so many plays here. I think I want to bait out stuff so I can get my Diva rolling, because Diva gets me to Nephthybis, and then Nephthybis gets me the Dragoons, and then Dragoons can add like a bunch of stuff here. So let's just like bait out stuff right now. So let's activate this. Got our normal summon. We're going to special summon the Grimness, and then Grimness is going to use its effect. That's going to special summon out the Abyss. Where is that at? The Abyss. Yep. I keep thinking it's called Shark, but it's not called Shark. But declare that effect, and that's going to use its effect to get any of the Vision or the Shadow. I think I like to add the Vision first. I think getting to the monster is very important, but it doesn't really matter in this situation. I'll get into the bit where the adding one of the or the other does come up, but here, there's a couple of options here. Yeah, there's a couple of options I could go for. I think the best option here now might be to normal summon Diva here. Yeah, because even if they negate the Diva, I still have plays. Yeah, I think, or let's activate the Vision first. Vision is probably the better option to go for right now. And we can add the Neuromanus. And at this point, if they haven't interrupted you, it's fine, because even if they negate the Diva, you still have a lot of plays. So I'm going to normal summon the Diva, I'm going to activate the Diva effect, and then I'm going to summon out the Nephthybis here. Nephthybis is going to get that. So let's pay attention to the waters in our graveyard. We have two right now. We're probably going to get to the third one. Yeah, we're going to get to the third one with the Nephthybis. Nephthybis is going to send the Dragoons for cost. You're going to send and then add. And now we have a couple of options we can go for. I think the best one here... So I do have Glacia access, because I do have 3 engrave, and then if I link these two off, it's going to be 5 in the graveyard. So I think I'm going to go for... Yeah, I'm going to go for the, whatchamacallit. In case I get Nibiru'd, I can just go for the Neuromanus. So let's just do that. Let's add the photo mirror, and then we're going to link up. I don't think it matters, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think it matters really, if I had to be honest. So we're going to go into the Ahashima, and Ahashima is going to use this effect to summon back out the Dragoons that we sent and the Dragoons that we added. And that's going to summon out the... Where is it? The Bahamut Shark. And then Bahamut Shark is going to go into Toad. So now we get Toad access. And now we can go for a silly card that is called Balloon Glacia. Because if you don't know what we have in our graveyard right now... let me add... Where is the Glacia? It's so hard to like find these cards in 60 cards. But yeah, here we go. Add this, and then now that we have 5 in the graveyard, 5 waters, we can summon the Moon Glacia, And then Moon Glacier is going to discard 2 from our opponent's hand. So our board is already kind of insane. We have a negate, and we have like 2 discards. So from now, we have a couple of options. We can go for IP here. We can go for Apoloza if we want to. But first, we have to get rid of the Ashima because that cannot be link summoned, or it can be used as a link material. We can go for Sprint, but we already have the Angler. So we have like a really insane hand right here. So I have too many cards on board, which is like kind of a problem in this deck, is that you kind of just want to link summon cards off, like Infernities. You just want to get monsters off the field so you can summon more monsters. So here, I believe the best option is to link these 2 off into a link 2 that doesn't really matter. Abyss Keeper is not really good in this situation because I've already used the effect of the Tremora to summon out our Grimness, so we don't need access to that. So now we could probably, we should link, or not link, XYZs into the Sprite Gigantic, and then we can go into the Photo Mirror. Photo Mirror is going to pay 1,000, or not 1,000, 5,000. That's a lot of life points, but it doesn't really matter in this situation. So now we can go Special Summon Neuromantis, and the Neuromantis effect is going to activate the Special Summon any water, which is like really good in this deck because you have multiple options. You don't even have to summon like the Abyss. But we're probably going to summon the Abyss here. Abyss is going to use this effect. It's going to add... what can I add here? I think we should... Oh yeah, this interaction comes up. So, for follow-up next turn, instead of adding a Vision, because if you have the option, or if you only have the option to search one or the other, I think getting to the Shadow is better because Neuromantis, when it negates, it returns it to the hand. So you'll have that follow-up for next turn, which is like really good. So now we could search for the Aqua Mirror here. Yeah, the Aqua Mirror is probably better because it doesn't pay life points. I believe this one pays for life points. Not really too sure. But here I think we could just link off in a mask. And then we could just, like, fully combo off here. Yeah, because we can't activate Gigantic, obviously, because we don't have space. That's why we played 2 Gigantic, because of this situation. So we can go for Masquerena. We can also go for a couple of other stuff. But I think the best option here is probably, yeah, we probably just go for Mask and just end our turn, right? We can link... Nah, we can't link into anything. I mean, we can make Apoloza, but that would be kind of awkward. So we can go for Mask. And from here, I think we're just fine. Yeah, we're fine. And we can just end our turn. So, like, this is still pretty good. We have a bunch of follow-up. We have 2 negates. We have Mask, 2 discards. And we have kind of like a follow-up turn. Because we can go Swap Frog, Ditch, Angler. And then... Angler is going to summon out 2 of the Nimble Beavers. And then we still have stuff like Sprite Gigantic. We still have, Coral Anemone to get to our Gishki cards. And then we can go climb up into Unicorn and access code for game and stuff like that. So I think this is pretty good of an end board. And it plays through a lot because you have so much gas in this deck that, even if they had like Nibiru there, we had plays to do afterward, so it was like still pretty strong. So this is gonna be it for the video, or not the video, this is gonna be it for the pretty much the test stand. Let's go into the deck profile. So this is basically the deck. I know it's a mess, I know it's a lot of cards, it's 60 cards, but the theory here is that you're gonna play a lot of these like really good extender cards, because if you play just 40, you're not gonna have any going second cards. You're not going to have that many extenders. You're just going to be focusing on like the Deep Sea, the Atlanteans, and the Gishkis that you need to play. And you can't really fit that all into 40 cards. So I was like, do I make this like 47, 48, fit in a couple of going second cards? Or do I just make this 60 and put in all of the extenders, all of the going second cards I can play versus Castir? Because that matchup is kind of like really bad going second with this deck. So I was like, let's just go with 60 cards. I think 60 cards is really good because, as I said before, again, this deck doesn't have a lot of space for going second cards or extenders like that. So as you can see, I run the full package of the Atlanteans. You could play heavy infantry if you want to. I think that it is definitely correct to play one if you have like the space for it. But like if I can cut like a Newman probably for it. But yeah, that's basically it for the Atlanteans. You have the 3 Deep Sea Diva, the 3 Minstrel, because you have so many waters that you can just discard, and it also turns on your Aria, which is like really good. So this card is like insane. You have the Nephthybis. This card is obviously insane just to get to your Dragoons. You have one front to also get to the Nephthybis. You have the Teus to be your extender, as well as the Swap Frog. And then for the Gishki package, you have the 3 Grimness, the 3 Neuromantis, the 3 Vision, the 3 Shadow, and then the 2 Abyss. You don't really need 3 of this because you just want to summon it off the Grimness. You don't really want to normal summon the Abyss. So having just Grimness at 3 and then playing 2 of this is just fine. I like playing 3 of the Ritual because then you don't really have to search for, the Ritual. You could just, search for the Ritual spell and then go for a Ritual summon. So I just like multiples of this. Also, it works because it turns on your Teus, it turns on your Minstrel. So even if it's kind of dead in your hand, you could still like Minstrel, send it to the grave, and then turn on like an Aria or send like the Neuromantis with the effect of Teus, and then turn on this. So it's still really strong. Also, the Swap Frog can send it from your hand to the graveyard, so it's not like completely dead if you have too many copies of it. So that's why I like running 3 of it. And then we have the 3 photo mirrors, or the 3 mirrors, which is the photo mirror, the aqua mirror, and the necro mirror, which is the new one. All 3 of these are very important. They have 3 different roles in the deck. I do like playing the photo mirror, even though it does pay a lot of life points. The necro mirror is really good going second, and then obviously aqua mirror is kind of a broken card. And then the focus aqua mirror, I play 3 of this. I don't play the trap card, which you can play. Again, as I said before, there's a lot of cards you could play in this deck, but I decided to just cut it. It's just another brick. I don't really like to play like too many bricky cards. That's why I cut down on stuff like Lapis Dragon you can see on the deck list. I only play like Moon Glacia as the brick in the deck, and obviously the Angler and the Newman, because these are kind of like necessary to play. I mean, Newman less likely, but like if you're playing the Nimble package, you need to play the Angler, and if you're playing like Mermels period, you need to be playing Moon Glacia. For the rest of the cards, Swap Frog is an extender. Also can send the Newman. Newman can be summoned back off with the Coral Anemone, which is like really strong. Shamora is really good to get out stuff like the Grimness and the Nephthybis. It does let you it helps you play through Disruption, which is like really good. It has a second effect, but it doesn't really come up because we don't have other Ice Jades. Although in the next set, Cybernetic, I forgot the next set, but the next set after Photon Hypernova, we do get a really good Ice Jade. So this will probably come up more often. And then obviously we do play the Nimbles because we play the Sprint, the Moon Glacia because again this card's insane, and then the 9 going second cards just for Castera, because Castera is a very, very problematic deck, at least for this deck going second. So you just need answers for the Arise Heart going second just to beat that, because that's just gonna be very, very annoying. And the thing about this deck is that this deck can pretty much go second against a lot of different matchups. Like Despia doesn't really have negates. Sprite could be kind of hard, but you still have stuff that can like push through boards. Just any other deck, you can like push through a lot of hand traps like Marine Cess, Math Mech, all these other Cybers deck. They play a lot of hand traps, but you could push through it. I don't think this deck necessarily has like a terrible matchup against anything else, but like Castera, obviously Despia is going to be like a hard matchup just because that deck is just super strong, especially going first. So I think these are just 9 cards that you could play going second against those matchups. And then for the extra deck, we play 2 Sprint. I don't think you really need 2 Sprint, but we do have stuff like the Mind Hacker, which could be like pretty insane against your deck. So having 2 copies of this, as well as the Sprite Gigantic, which could be big. We play the Shima for the combo into the Bahamut Shark into Toad. Core Anemone is just really good to summon back stuff like Shark and Nephthybis. Like any of these cards are just really strong to summon. Biskeeper, it summons a fish monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. It also has the second effect going second. You can target 1 other fish monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Banish those cards, which could come up So you can summon any of these cards. So you can summon the Grimness, you can summon the Abyss. The rest of them are Sea Serpents, so you can't really special summon those. You can also summon, I think that's about it. Yeah, these are not, well, you can summon Angler, but like, you don't ever do that. But Abyss Keeper, really good, going first and going second. The Masquerada, obviously, with the Unicorn, the Apollousa, and the Goddess. These are all three really good, solid cards in combination, especially if you play something like Aeromax, you can do that as well. I don't play it because you don't really need it. I think Goddess is like better to out stuff like the Addict or Link Monster. In Access Code, obviously, is really good for OTKs. Gigantic, again, this card's like really good in this deck because you run a lot of good level 2s. Bahama Shark and Toad, this comes up with the combo. And then the Mannequin Cat, this card is really good because against Kashtira, if they shifter you, you can go Grimness, summon the Abyss Shark, add whatever you want, and then overlay these two into Mannequin Cat, and then Mannequin Cat target the shifter in the graveyard, special summon it, then use the effect to summon out the Chaos Hunter, and now your opponent cannot banish cards. So what that means is that your cards are not going to get banished by the shifter, and as well as they're not going to be able to activate any cards that banish as well. So like Prosperity can be activated, they can't activate Fenrir, Unicorn, all those other cards that banish as well, which is like really, really strong against the Kashtira matchup. So if you were wondering, yeah, if they shifted you, what do? You definitely go into the Mannequin Cat play that can help you play around shifter. And then I played Thunder King Raya, which can be really good against Sprite. Sprite is a pretty solid matchup. I haven't really figured out a target that can summon it against Despia. Against Sword Soul, I can summon out the Newman, so that could be really good because they have the token. So if they go Moyi, Reveal, summon token, I can go, use the effect of the Mannequin Cat, summon out the Newman, and then that, I'm pretty sure that works, right? Let's just check real quick. If a monster is special summoned to your, yeah, just making sure. But yeah, against the Sword Soul strategy, you can just summon Newman, and that can be pretty strong. But if you have a recommendation of what card I can play against the Despia archetype with the effect of Mannequin Cat, just let me know. I'm always down for changes to this deck because it's not perfect. It's definitely the beginning of the format, so any changes you suggest could be great. And then for the rest of your cards, I play Thrusting and Talents. These cards are really good going first, going second, especially going first because it helps you play around hand shops even more. D-Barrier obviously goes with the Thrust, as well as these cards like Dark Ruler No More, Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki, and Evenly Matched. These all are really good in combination with Thrustings. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I went on a lot about this deck. I think this deck has potential. I don't think it's going to be a great deck in the format, but it could be a very, very viable rogue option in the format. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I am out. Peace.